Oh, 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 oh. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. I'll just read few of the shlokas from chapter 2 from
Hariom Belaji, voice is
Okay.
very low, like.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
if you
full
can
volume.
increase the.
It is full volume.
Acha, now it's fine.
Is it
Now
okay?
yes.
Kindly guide me, Dr. Savitaji. Which page? 374. Uh, I should read from. You read this one, right? Yesterday. I will just read the shloka. Could you please guide me which page we were in exactly?
375. The heading was Why Should I Perform Karma?
Okay. Dhanyavad, dhanyavad. 375. Why should I perform karma? Okay. So this was completed, right?
This wasn't completed. We just read 2-3 paragraphs yesterday.
Okay. So I will read just a few paragraphs before that, one or two, and then we will start. Just to have the train of thought. Yeah. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गत्सेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते. When a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises. From attachment, desire is born. From desire arises anger. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, the destruction of discrimination. From destruction of discrimination, he perishes. रागद्वेषवियुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा prasadamadigaccati. But the self-controlled man, moving among objects with his senses under restraint and free from both attraction and repulsion, attains peace. प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते. In that peace, all pains are destroyed. For the intellect of the tranquil minded soon becomes steady. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. There is no knowledge of the self to the unsteady, and to the unsteady, no meditation, and to the unmeditative, no peace, and to the peaceless, how can there be happiness? इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि. For the mind, which follows in the wake of the wandering senses, carries away his discrimination as the wind carries away a boat on the waters. तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Therefore, O mighty armed, his knowledge is steady, whose senses are completely restrained from sense objects. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. That which is night to all beings, in that the self-controlled man keeps awake. Where all beings are awake, that is the night for the sage or Muni who sees. So we were looking at the person who is Jnani Muni, who is awake to the Atma Tattvam. So that is the day for us, the day for him, and the night for us because we all are awake to the Jagat. So we will just continue with the explanation by Swamiji. The Veda sets out the karmas that have to be done, and Shankara clarifies as to who has to do them. The person who has such notions as I am a brahmachari, I am a brahmana, I am a married person, I am bound by time, spring, new moon day, full moon day, morning, evening. The one who has these kinds of notions about himself or herself, the one who thinks that he or she is time bound, place bound, and group bound, is the person whom the Shruti, the Veda, addresses with reference to the performance of rituals. So this is about the when the person is having that concept that I am bound by time or I am bound by the kala or what place or situations, then as per the Shruti, he has to perform the rituals. That is the Karma Kanda. And if the person knows I am Satchit Ananda, the Shruti does not address him or her at all. In fact, it says that you are Satchit Ananda, but it reserves this particular statement for the last chapter, which is what we call Vedanta. Until then, the Veda talks exclusively about rituals and meditation, all of which are Dvaita, dual. Only at the end of all this does it say, you are that Brahman, Tat Tvam Asi. Why should I perform karma? The question may then be asked, why did the Shruti not say this in the beginning? If it had done so, I need not have done all this karma. I did the morning and evening prayers because the Veda said to do them, and I had faith in the Veda. Now I find that these karmas have become a colossal waste because at the end of it all, the Veda tells me that I am Brahman and that karma is of no use. If karma will not give me moksha, why did it not say so in the beginning? The reason the Veda does not tell you right in the beginning that you are Brahman is because You have to be ready for this knowledge. By performing karma, you are able to eventually get to the last chapter of the Veda and understand what it says. By not performing karma, you will be neither a jnani nor a devout person. You will only be driftwood with no moorings whatsoever. The rule is that those who are not ready for the knowledge should not be disturbed with it. We will see this later in the Gita. Instead, people are encouraged to perform karma in order to prepare their minds for the knowledge. They are told about Swarga, heaven, in the beginning, so that they will perform the enjoined rituals for gaining Swarga. In this way, they will definitely avoid papa and punya will follow. The person who performs karma will have a value for dharma, adharma, right and wrong, and will come to believe that there is an atma, a self other than the body. That much is enough in the beginning. Once you respect dharma, adharma, the ability to discriminate between the real and the unreal will not be far behind. To respect dharma, adharma is not to be swayed by your raga, dveshas. Therefore, the pressure of raga, dveshas will be less. This is what is meant by viveka. Viveka begins as soon as you start to question what is what. First, there is an internal leisure, and then Viveka naturally comes. Once Viveka is there, you will naturally turn to Vedanta. Only in this way can you proceed properly. Therefore, as long as self ignorance is there, one should perform karma. Whereas once there is self knowledge, there is renunciation of karma, sarva karma sannyasa. Shankara repeats this argument throughout his commentary on the Gita. This is because there was a notion prevalent in his day that the Veda enjoins one to do karma and at the same time to gain the knowledge that I am Brahman. This position maintains that both will give you moksha and is refuted by Shankara at every opportunity. Or if either karma or jnana is adequate for moksha, why should anyone do the other? If moksha is something that I produce, why do I need jnana? And if karma is not going to produce moksha, there is no reason to do karma. If I am Brahman and I merely need to know it, which is Shankara's contention, then jnana is moksha and I do not need to do anything. Thus, the question, why should one do karma? The answer is that one performs karma in order to purify the mind for chitta shuddhi. Chitta means mind. We have seen the word shuddhi with reference to raga dveshas. So very beautifully Swamiji has explained here why karma is required. Our nitya nainitya karma, why it is required? To clean our antakarana so that we can be free from the raga dveshas. Our mind becomes our mind becomes just a Kshamyata. Our mind becomes just a mirror, not the camera which keeps preserving. the memories of all the experiences due to raga and dvesha. I like this, I don't like this. I like him, I don't like him. So that is like we capture the images as camera. But once when we keep on doing the karma through prayers and through our all the seva and for others, then our chitta shuddhi happens. Anyone wants to share or anyone wants me to repeat anything? Yeah, I think I'll read ahead. Reality is already.
There.
Yeah.
This thing about internal leisure that we talked about, Swamiji talked about here. He says once you follow dharma, there is that first, that is that internal leisure that comes. And then Viveka dawns. So yesterday we had a chat with Nana and my sister Seema. So we were talking about this. And this actually, the previous few shlokas where he says, Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyascharan sama prasadam adhigacchati, right? So that prasada, that prasanna chitta is that internal leisure, that stillness of the mind. That is that internal leisure that is being referred to here. So once we have that internal leisure, in that stillness, then there is that intellect becomes clear and therefore viveka dawns. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyascharan
Atmavashyair vidheyatma
Atmavashyair vidheyatma
prasadam
prasadam
adhigacchati.
adhigacchati. Then prasanna chetasahyaashuhu buddhi paryavattishtati. Second.
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिपर्यवतिष्ठते.
Paryavattishtati. So that is what we get when you have that stillness of the mind, the clarity in the mind.
So the Ashanta Chitta is the symbol of the one who is not prasanna, right?
One who is still riddled with ragat. So very simple, the equation. If you are having a restless mind, it means you are still affected by your raga-dvesha. Somewhere there is your actions, activities, desire, whatever is governed by raga-dveshas. So it's good to go back and introspect. And on the other hand, the more still your mind is, the less raga-dveshas. Like we say, we use the breath. The breath is affected by different emotions. Similarly, using the breath, you can have a say on your emotions. So similarly, here in this equation, restless mind equals ragadveshas. So in order to neutralize them, you still the mind. Automatically, the ragadveshas also will start getting stilled. That is why meditation is the key. Meditation helps get rid of, especially Sahaj, gets rid of all the vasanas and past impressions. Apart from, of course, being a karma yogi, doing what is to be done. We cannot become like what Buddha said, everybody start meditating. You can't just be meditating alone. That is not sufficient. That is required, but you have to stand up and fight, like what Krishna told Arjuna. We have to do what we have to do. Because ultimately, we have so many of those ragadveshas that are hidden, subtle. Only when we act will they start getting purified. And every time we act, we use that kushalatva, the skill, the ability to discriminate what is to be done at that moment. Then that samatvam yoga uchyate. Then have that stillness in the mind that doesn't get flustered because the result is not according to what I want. No matter what the result, you have that samatva. Then there is this vairagya as well that comes in. Then you have a mind that is prepared for the self-knowledge.
It is like preparing the kshetra, what farmer does, prepare the soil before sowing the seeds.
Correct.
And Gurudev, yesterday I was listening, he said the seed is already there. You don't need to sow it. It is not even required. It is already there inside.
Of course, it is there.
Yeah. So it is just avarana we have to remove with
Yes.
this.
The seed is there, that is, therefore you are able to speak, therefore I am able to listen. It is there. It is only that we have misidentified it. Instead of holding on to the Paramatma Tattva, instead of identifying ourselves with that, we've identified ourselves. We are all in that otherwise group. The wise are those that have realized the truth of who they are, who we are. Whereas we are still
Half awake.
covered by that cloud of ignorance.
That half awake state, Brahmaraji, could you please just explain little more that because sometimes you have so much of devotion and commitment and sometimes it is shaken. So is that the half awake state?
Half awake state is
that you know the reality, but at the same time you are still attached with the that dispassion has still not come. So that Hriday Granthi is still taking you away from the center.
because there are still some blocks. Still, there is that identification is not completely with the self. It's like you know it as a concept, but you're still identifying yourself with the rest of the equipment, matter equipment. You know there is a spirit that exists, the Atma that is there, but that is only as an intellectual concept. We are still holding on to our mind, ego, intellect, memory. Because there are those blocks, and all those blocks are not just our vasanas, all our past impressions, our samskaras, raga dveshas. So that cleansing process has to, that is what is Atma Shuddhi, that Antakarana Shuddhi is cleansing up all of this. The self is there shining. It's just that it's covered by so many layers of dirt and dust that we just have to keep polishing. And then that it reveals itself. You don't need to, you have to discover the self, which is already there. It is there. That is what Gurudev meant by saying the seed is already there.
And is it that because of that seed, whatever you identify with, it will keep on polishing that? If you identify with your body and situation and people materialistic, then it will help you to do that also. And if you identify it with Paramatma, then it will
Yeah, right.
manifest the same. Yeah.
That is why that they say that uh, in that Brahmara Kita Nyaya, Aham Brahmas,
Hmm.
we must revel. Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana is one who revels in the infinity. Brahman
Hmm.
charati iti Brahmana. So the one who revels in that expansive nature of Brahman. So time and again, which is what is a Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is Atma Vashyer Vidheyatma. He takes himself within. He is attached to the self and not attached to samsara.
Hmm.
In that witness consciousness throughout. Which is
Hmm.
why he is not ruffled. Which is why we are ruffled.
Hmm.
We are ruffled because, see, Brahman is stillness, Brahman is infinite expansiveness, Satchid Ananda, unchanging, unchanging joy, unchanging peace. Whereas samsara is always changing. That is the half awake state, so to say, because we have ups and downs, we have joys, we have sorrows, we are tossed and turned over by the changing samsara. But getting
Hmm.
established in Atma, that jnana nishtha, then we have that steadiness, that sthita prajnatva happens. Till such time, we have to continue doing karma to cleanse ourselves with an attitude of a karma yogi,
Hmm.
not just an ethical person, because even ultimately, sarva dharman parityaja, even that we have to drop. Mamekam sharanam raja. And it is happening in a very subtle way. All of us, we've been discussing that our
Hmm.
um, preferences have changed over the years,
Absolutely. Hmm.
isn't it? You have some
Hmm.
free time, you don't want to sit and say gossip or do something which is wasteful. I'm not saying, I'm not labeling any activity, but we have noticed there is a subtle difference in our intentions, in the preferences, so that internal cleansing is happening. And this is what the Shastra says. It is true. We just have to go on with that deep Shraddha, that this is the way. And that this, why am I doing karma? Why do I do karma? Is such a beautiful paragraph. The whole train of thought is why we have to do what we're doing. Why rituals? Why? It's the beginning. At least it will keep us away from the path of, see, just compare ourselves with all these. Of course, it's extreme comparison with the terrorists. All they're doing is sinful activity. They're all doing adharmic acts. So, from that, moving towards dharma, that is what the Shastra, the first part of Veda talks of, is rituals. Doesn't matter if it's a kamya karma, at least it is putting you on the path of punya and not papa. You're not wantonly hurting anyone. You're not
Hmm.
doing things to others that you don't want them to do to you. So, first step is to get on to the path of dharma, so that you're doing activities that prevent you from getting sins. And then slowly this raga dveshas also will stop, will start getting neutralized. But
Hmm.
that alone is not sufficient. So you continue polishing it by exposing yourself to self knowledge.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
And then, like you said, instead of taking photographs all the time, we will start looking at ourselves in the mirror. Instead of getting lost in that waves of the lake, the waves of the ripples in the lake also slowly start settling down. And in with respect to Patanjali Yoga Sutras, all the 5 modulations of the mind, they will settle down. And then you're able to see your true self.
So, what is that 5 modulation you mentioned, Dr. Ramra?
Avidya, there are 5 afflictions, right, Brahmanaji?
So, pramana, viparyaya, pramana, viparyaya, nidra, and there are 2 more with
Those are in that slide.
Pachatayaha. Pramana, vikalpa, viparyaya, nidra, and there is one
Swapna.
more. Huh?
Swapna.
Swapna comes under nidra only.
Okay.
I have written in my note from 5 afflictions, that is the helplessness due to the Prakriti, avidya, that is ignorance,
That is
asmita.
klesha. That is the klesha.
Yeah, klesha. Okay, sorry, okay.
These are the 5 afflictions of the mind: pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, and smriti, memory. These are the 5 modulations of the mind. So,
okay.
when these settle down, then pramana is right knowledge, viparyaya is wrong understanding, vikalpa is imagination, nidra is sleep, and smriti is memory. They need to be controlled in order to achieve a state of mental stillness.
Thank you, Dr. Ramra. So the wrong understanding need to be cleared, right?
Cleared, yeah. And what Belaji was talking about, the 5 kleshas, is if you do not follow the yama, niyama, pranayama, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. If you're not following yama, niyama and all that, then your mind is afflicted in 5 different. What are the afflictions of the mind? The sufferings of the mind, kleshas, or impurities that show up, are avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. Asmita is this I-ness, minus. You're all, focused only on the small I. And then avidya. Avidya, asmita. Avidya is the root cause of all of this. Because you have avidya of your true self, you identify yourself with the small I and you get caught up with that. And then therefore you have asmita. Because you have asmita, you have raga, dvesha. I want this, I don't like this. And then abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is fear. The moment you know that the moment you see the other, the moment you are in Dvaita, there is fear that is born. Because Dvaitat bhayam bhavati. So when any of these are the manifestations of a person who is not following these yama niyama. But whereas you follow yama niyama, which is the discipline towards yourself and discipline towards the society, how you behave in society. Then what you have is chitta prasadana, that stillness of your mind, the happiness of temper in your mind, that contentment in your mind.
Dr. Brahma, can you explain again Asmita?
Asmita is that small mind, getting identified with that small mind. Asmita is I all the time. I, me, mine.
My identification, basically.
Yes, yes.
Brahmaraji, afflictions of the mind, could you please, repeat wrong understanding? That is called
You mean the
avidya or...
modulations of the mind?
Yeah.
The different modulations
Mm.
are a pramana, vikalpa, viparyaya, pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smriti.
Vikalpa is no.
Vikalpa is like hallucinations, wrong or imagination.
Imagination. Viparyaya is the wrong understanding.
Wrong understanding.
Wrong.
Like seeing the snake as the rope. No, seeing the rope as the snake.
Imagination is vikalpa. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are the fluctuations of the mind.
Very beautiful.
Jai Gurudev, pramana is actually...
Pramana is right knowledge, correct knowledge. Is that even pramana has 3 different forms, right?
So if you have the right knowledge, you will not have that sankalpa vikalpa mind.
No, actually, pramana here is wanting proof. Then this classification is mentioned, what is that? Correct knowledge, but then it is actually wanting proof. Proof or means of knowledge, that is pramana. So proof also, pramana is pratyaksha, anumana and agama. Pratyaksha pramana is you see directly, like the sun is rising and it is setting. So you see it directly, direct perception. That is pratyaksha pramana. Whereas anumana is like you see smoke, but you don't see the fire. But then you assume that without fire, there is no smoke. So when you see smoke, you know that there is fire behind somewhere. So that is anumana. Whereas agama is the shastra, is the Vedas. Veda is the other pramana, which is why in Swami Dayananda's, I think in the introduction, he talked about this pramana, the way Veda is a pramana. Remember that example of the grandmother giving that,
the
she's
piece
handed
of
it over.
embroidery.
Piece of embroidery. How do you know that it has come? You keep it in your altar, in your prayer, in your puja mandir. It's because you have that shraddha. So agama comes with that shraddha. And agama is what is telling us, the Veda is telling us, hey, you are Brahman. That is the proof. And what is, you first have shraddha, and the result of having shraddha is that you actually experience, or not even experience, discover your true self ultimately. But even that has to go. In the wake of the self-knowledge, this knowledge is like the soap. But even that gets washed out. It will not stick to you. Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. He becomes Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. So even that in the wake of self-knowledge, everything disappears. Where is Veda there then? There is only oneness. I think we drifted into Patanjali Yoga Sutras just now.
No, it is very important, no, Brahmaraji, because the mind is the tool through which we will be having this realization.
Right.
And if it is not understood properly, then
And the
it
five,
will not be sthira buddhi.
correct. And it's a beautiful blend actually. So what are the 5 yamas and niyamas? What we need to practice? Yama,
Ahimsa Satya.
ahimsa, satya, asteya,
Asteya.
brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya.
Vairagya, no.
Aparigraha.
Aparigraha.
Right? So ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. So it's so ahimsa. You're not just violence, non-violence against not just killing animals, hurting animals. It's violence in all of this. It's violence in thought, word, and deed. And satya, you're remaining in that truth. It's like what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Be established in the self. When you're attached to the self and not to samsara, you're in satya, you're in truth. In that witness consciousness. And then asteya, non-stealing. Someone has a good voice. You say, oh, I wish I had that voice. You've already stolen. Someone has a good voice. Revel in the happiness. Yes, just wonder and be happy with that state that, yes, this is such a beautiful voice. The moment you say, oh, I wish I had it, that's it, you've stolen. And of course, physical stealing goes without saying. But even intellectually. And then brahmacharya. This is what we were talking about. Reveling in that Brahman Tattva, in the infinity. Of course, at a physical level, it means celibacy, practicing some self-control. And then you have aparigraha, non-accumulating. Not just physical accumulating. You don't want to let go of certain things. You want to keep accumulating. And you want to go to the supermarket to buy just milk, but you end up buying some 10 different things. And intellectually is wanting praise, wanting likes on all our social media stuff. How many likes did I get? All that is accumulating. So when we practice all of this, this is with respect to the self. You're creating that, you're cleaning yourself. Just like how in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about how ragadveshas, you neutralize your ragadveshas. So when you practice ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, you're actually leading to this state. Because automatically your ragadveshas also will slowly start getting neutralized. Both are linked, isn't it? So, and then yama, niyama. Niyama is your self-discipline towards yourself. How should it be? And what are the 5 niyamas?
Yama, niyama, pratyahara, pranayama.
Yeah.
No, Saucha.
Shaucha, santosha. Shaucha,
Ishvara
santosha,
Pranidhana.
tapas,
yeah. And Ishvara Pranidhana.
Swadhyaya and Ishvara Pranidhana. Shaucha not just externally but also internally. in the mind, in the thought, in our word, in deed, in how we speak. That's shaucha. Shaucha is
like Shuddha Antakarana.
in a very beautiful way. Gurudev says shaucha is when you are, when you are miserable, you've become ashaucha. Shaucha is maintaining that internal purity that one attains when you're having that viveka, vairagya, and you are attached to the self. You're in that witness consciousness. The moment that misidentification happens, you identify with the intellect or memory, ego, ashaucha happens. So maintaining that internal purity is the highest form of shaucha. Physically, of course, some of us may have experienced the orthodoxy that was there, which also had a meaning. My grandmother, even my mother, after taking bath, when she's cooking food, she said, "Don't touch me." She would maintain that shaucha. That's on the physical plane, but then in a mental plane. And then santosha. Santosha is an attitude of happiness. We have to cultivate that. No matter what, I'm going to smile. And then tapas, the ability to, and the thing to go through tough situations with a smile. Which is why Rajima was saying tapas is, supposing you are feeling hungry, the hunger pangs are starting. You don't just quickly go and appease your hunger. Let it be there for some time. Let it cook for some time. Let that fire of Jataragni become, let it be there for a while and then appease it. So we tend to immediately try to get out of the discomfort. But willingly going through that is tapas. Willingly going through some adversity, willingly going through some difficulty, some pain, displeasure. Humiliation, for instance, and the mental plane, can we willingly go through? Immediately, what do? We react. We get angry and we react with that person. But are we able to, which is what Gurudev says, smiling through when everything is happy is great. It doesn't require great effort. But are you able to smile through even when you are facing adversities, when you are humiliated? That is the sign of your strength. And that is that tapas.
And how beautiful solution he has given. By humor, you go through it.
Yes. And Swadhyaya, what we're doing right now, Swadhyaya is self-study and introspecting. It's not just Shravana, Manana, also Nididhyasana, contemplating all that we have learned, digesting it. And then Ishvara Pranidhana. Unless we have that bhakti, there is an ego that develops. So, oh, I know it all. Bhakti is what makes us humble. Because on this path, unless we are humble and surrendered, we can end up having inflated spiritual egos. And that is again a downfall in this path, which is razor sharp. It's like a razor edge, walking like on the razor edge. Kshurasya dhara, nihita duratyaya. So, following these and being in that innocence, in that surrendered state, Ishvara Pranidhana, then yes, then we have a say on our senses then. And then none of these five the afflictions, that is avidya, asmita, ragadvesha, abhinivesha, they will all slowly start melting down. actually, with respect to knowledge, whenever it's like, when you are in this knowledge, even a normal Bollywood song, you will relate to the self, to, to the divine. It is not to the mundane. I think so many of us must have noticed that, right? So, same thing when you're reading anything else also, like Prem and I, we started reading some book yesterday that was recommended. It is about conscious parenting. It's a beautiful book. So in that, we were able to see everything linked to Bhagavad Gita. So you see that connect
Very beautiful.
everywhere.
Very true.
Yeah, I think
And you see only then the grace only everywhere. You will
you
not
see
have that
Vibhuti
complain
everywhere.
mode.
Yeah.
That complain mode is completely deleted.
But it's all nice, and it seems very nice when they're in this space of sattva. This half awake state that you were talking about, Bela. So we are awake to this. But then when we step out of this and we encounter situations that the mistaken identity that we have overpowers us, and then we end up doing what we do, getting caught up in misidentification. So all these aspects of yama niyama and being a karma yogi, all that will help keep us on this path, so that we don't get swayed by our ego and asmita.
Actually, we are not prasanna chitta that time. That's how the things bother.
Very beautiful discussion. Dhanyavad, Dr. Brahmaraji. Very, very nice.
Hello.
Jai Gurudev. Yeah,
Jai
yeah,
Gurudev. So these are all Ashtanga, Yama, Niyama, Asanas, Pranayama, Pratyahara, and
Dharana, Dhyana,
Dharana. These are all Ashtanga. These are not steps, Guruji says many times, So what he has done is, in Sudarshan Kriya, with his grace, he has given us the last one, that is the Samadhi type. Dhyana Samadhi, that is after the Sudarshan Kriya, you go into Samadhi only. Then he says, that is the principle of this art of living. He says, with the grace, the Sudarshan Kriya, you are into the Samadhi. And all this is Ashtanga, no? Means it is one of the limb. You pull one limb, all the limbs will come. So he gave the Samadhi. All these Yama, Niyama, when you practice Sudarshan Kriya, these Yama, Niyama and all that means automatically you will be exposed to it and you will follow the suit. It may take some time depending upon the degree of the Samadhi you have reached. That is the basic principle of art of living. These are not These are anga. Anga means like a limb. 2 hands, 2 legs and all that. If you pull a hand, so the whole body will come. So yama, niyama, these are all the ashtanga. Then Guruji, by his grace, he is so karuna. He has given us, and the first basic course itself, the samadhi. And then he started giving the knowledge, and knowledge automatically seeped into us, and we are all following it. This is why this is what I understood by in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra Guruji's discussion. This is the main principle of art of living. Everyone thought that we had to follow the step yama, then niyama, then asanas, then pranayama, then pratyahara, then dhruti, then dhyana and samadhi. This is one limb, complete one body. So when you practice Sudarshan Kriya, you are slowly exposed to all the knowledge. Automatically cleanliness will follow. Yama, niyama, you will become sattvic, you will become everything. Pranayama, you are doing it. Pratyahara, you are doing it in the Sudarshan Kriya itself. And your whole antakarana shuddhi happens. Then
many have many have shared that they were so much like into non-veg from childhood, but two
when you
Sudarshan
start
Kriyas and
practicing, yes, not 1 or 2
suddenly
days.
you don't feel like eating it, and so many people have shared this.
Alcoholic, they stopped it. I have seen myself. He came to me and told, I told, if you want really to stop, you attend our course. And he started doing it. He was willing to stop and it was not stopping. But when he started doing the Kriya and all that, he is now completely free of alcohol. This is the effect of Sudarshan Kriya, basic course. Antakarana Shuddhi happens immediately, and that is with the grace of Guruji. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, can someone share your thoughts on Swadhyaya?
Swadhyaya is what we are doing it now.
Manana, Nididhyasana.
All the three.
Yeah, three.
Manana, there's first Shravana, then Manana, then Nididhyasa. Shravana is first hearing. This all knowledge has come by hearing. Shravana only. Earlier, there was no prints. It was only with Shravana, we are all, with that parampara, we have got all this. Now we have all the records and all that. Now it is okay. That's new things have come. But earlier, it was passed through the Guru to Shishya directly by Shravana only. And when he hears first time, then he starts Manana. He starts by it, and then daily meaning of it, understanding it, and all that. Manana is that. Then, after understanding everything, he has to practice it nididhyasa daily until it becomes your nidhi. And all this process is called swadhyaya.
That's what we are doing here, no?
Yeah, that's what we are doing. We are just
It is
unpeeling the wherever knots are there, that we are just doing it.
yeah.
We have
And
been following it.
every time we feel Bapre, still so much
Yes,
to like.
uncovering.
It's like a Himalaya
Yes.
knowledge of Himalaya. How much you can dig more deeper it is.
What Guruji gave in one nutshell is such a big thing he has given us. We have to be thankful to him. From that day, the process has started, and still it is continuing. Jai Gurudev. Can continue, please.
So this cycle of nididhyasana continues, isn't it?
Still, you know, no, the knowledge has to seep in and it has to become your nidhi. You know,
Cycle of
automatically
Shravana and
happens.
Manana continues. Shravana and Manana is a continuous process that slowly, very slowly, it is becoming
it's a long
Nididhyasa.
process. Nididhyasa is
Yeah.
for a long time.
Because we need to reverse our this thing, no?
Yes.
Millions of years, whatever the concept and the sanskaras, the impressions, and that has to be reversed completely. So it is taking time. Abhi, millions of
Formatting.
years ka if we expect कि within 2 years it should happen.
फॉर्मेटिंग चाहिए
happening.
पहला फॉर्मेटिंग करने के लिए सब चाहिए फुल क्रिया चाहिए सब कुछ then only you can record on it. You have to become
Really,
hollow
we can
and
say
empty.
this is the fastest. Yeah, this is the fastest way Gurudev has given.
Gurudev has given. That is what we have to understand it. He is such a kind woman. He is such a kind guru. He only started like this. There was Guruji only has said there was too much opposition for this also. How you can teach like this and all that. But Guruji followed his own. Now everyone is seeing the growth, how much minds he has changed. So many millions, so many countries. It's a universal. Not only Bhagavad Gita, everything is included in that basic course. Even the Upanishads, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, all Vedanta, complete Vedanta. You take that knowledge, that knowledge is here in this basic course only.
He's opened the complete floodgate.
Yeah, in such a short thing, we have to be lucky to get such things. Earlier, they used to go to Himalaya, and then if Guru wishes, he would be giving it. Guruji opened the door for everyone. We have to be lucky for that we have got such Guru. What he taught in 1981, it is the same thing he is teaching. So at that early age, he knew how to deal with, how to teach this to take this to the whole world, step by step, step by step. DSN, advanced course, Sanyama 1, Sanyama 2. You are so lucky to have him. Actually, I think I had earlier told you also, before joining Art of Living, I had read this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Still I am having that, and still I am reading it. So much is there to read. So much is there to take it. And Guruji has explained in such a simple thing. You do the Kriya, and that is practical. This is all theoretical, and theoretical knowledge and that practical go hand in hand. Then that knowledge stabilizes in us. Swadhyaya is not only small thing, it is just a continuous process of doing Kriya, that, this, etc. in the knowledge, being in the knowledge, being in the knowledge. And his notes to the sincere seeker, wonderful. It gives the modern, you find some problem, it gives day to day how to deal with it. Practical thing. And you go on reading it, you will find so many meaning in it. That's the first thing we have to do. Daily read one knowledge sheet. Beside my bed, that is there always. You just open it, you'll find the solution for the day's problem. Our Guru is not like that. He is just one of the avatar, we can say. Jai Gurudev.
Our cup, we have to empty first to fill in, and then everything, that knowledge will also seep, and we
That is
will
what
be progressing on this path then.
Yeah, he gives in advance course, hollow and empty.
Yeah.
But we still, when we do hollow and empty, we remember hollow and empty. Madhuri can explain it. Hollow and empty, you know. We are bound with the food, we bound with so many things. Ragadeshas. We have to clean. Advance courses daily do, yearly do twice that advance course, then only your knowledge will be established.
Actually, little bit easier is like identifying more and more Akasha, the space, out
Within
and
you.
in.
In
And out and in, space, Akasha. So the
Full Akasha
grip
is
of
in
the Bhumi Tattva, Bhumi Tattva, Jala Tattva keeps reducing.
Akasha Tattva.
That is the major bond. Yeah. Akasha, more and more you feel within and out, that will easily little bit help us to transcend the grip of the bondage. That
Whole
bondage
thing
is
is the
mainly
respiration.
everything connected with the earth and your Jala Tattva, Bhumi Tattva.
Fire.
And the third one is
Five elements.
Fire.
Vayu.
Everything. Vayu. Then Akash.
Yeah. So the grip keeps on reducing in that much proportion, your raga dveshas and your bondage
Automatically,
attachment.
it goes
Yeah.
out.
All
We
the
have
time keep that pot ka example, inside outside, akash Akti.
we have
Immediately
learned
the
that also,
shift
na? In
happens
Akash
in the
Tattva,
consciousness.
all these four elements present.
See,
Yes.
when we breathe, what is universal? Air. That is, we can say, divine energy or whatever it is, that prana. It is same. The air which goes into my nose is same. The air goes into your nose, everyone's nose. So we are connected there only. When you breathe in, it becomes so, and when you breathe out, it becomes hum. So hum, so hum. I am that, I am that, I am that. And that japa has to happen, a japa, not we are not to do the japa. Guruji does the japa and we are gaining a japa. So hum, so hum, so. We are only breathing. Because if we tell so, we don't breathe, we breathe out. So is breathing in only. You should not say so. When you say so, you are not breathing in, you are breathing out. Therefore, in Sudarshan Kriya, we just breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We don't chant it. Guruji is just for us. And one with the universe. Cosmic energy. In and out, both are same that time. I am that, so am. Such a beautiful thing he has just given.
Whenever we chant, means whenever that so that time we feel like, oh, like that culmination happens.
Happens, and
So,
so means you breathe in.
yeah,
Breathe in
when
the
we
prana.
chant, we will, if we speak the breathe out, we will breathe out with
Breathe
the so.
in. Breathe
Yeah.
in is so. Hum. Hum is the out we go, but that is relaxation. So in each breath and out, we are telling, I am that, 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 that.
And
Slowly
that so I should go, then that only that.
that. And it comes to Om only again. So hum is Om only. End. Therefore, he is very particular about that Om 3 times telling.
Jai Gurudev. I'm really sorry. The very beautiful discussion is going on, but our time is.
So yes, I
Yeah,
stopped that,
so
but it continued.
yeah. No, thank
Sorry.
you for very, very wonderful inner insight. Okay, I think we can continue tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Just give me 2 minutes for meditation.
So we'll stop here.
Oh.
Eyes closed. Every moment, total meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here. Lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open it.